Hello, welcome to Actual Play Our Haunt. Very excited to be here for our third session. Thanks for everyone who was hanging out with us before we went live. You got to hear about our Overwatch dates and exciting times. I'm Sean. I use he/him pronouns. I play Willow the cat, who uses she/her pronouns. My room is the study, but I'm really excited about going to the lost room because last session, Anoki was destroyed by Twice's rage, and we gotta go get her back. We gotta go delve in. So I'm super excited about that, and just to play with you lovely folks. How about you, Adriana?
Hello, my name is Indrani. My pronouns are she, they. I will be playing Anoki, and I physically and virtually do not exist right now. So, we'll see if you learn more about my character later in the game. And I don't want to spoil the fun for the rest of the folks, but yeah, that's me. Yay! Kristen, do your thing. I'm so bad at these.
No, that was actually really good.
That's great.
Do your thing. I'm here for that.
Pretty sure I said that to Sean last week.
But that's okay. It's perfect. Hi, I'm Kristen, she, her pronouns. I play Valentina, our little ghosty found family's doll. And Valentina wasn't physically destroyed by Twice. Was she mentally or emotionally destroyed by Twice? It's possible.
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. It's okay.
Oh.
So we'll find out. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to visit the Lost Room. We haven't been to the basement or the study yet either, so maybe we'll make it to one of those locations.
Got places to go.
We got places to go. All right, I'll hand it over to you, Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. I am playing Twice, who did not mean to kill 2 of her only friends. But it does double kill, I guess, because they were already dead, but certainly at least hurt them. She is not proud of what she has done. She's also still wearing a Thing 2 costume, the couple's costume. It's like one of the things from Dr. Seuss. Please keep that in your mind as you listen to her weep and wail, etc. Ray, how are you doing?
Hey, my name is Ray. My pronouns are he, they. Yeah, and I am. Wow, my brain fritzed for a moment. I thought we were playing Blades in the Dark for a second. Anyway,
we could. It's not too
jamming the session.
We're ready.
All right,
like,
everyone. Really quick, changing some gears.
I was like, we're gonna go into downtime. Oh my gosh. Okay, Ray, you
it's
can
a
do
new
this.
mechanic.
So I'm playing the Loved. I'm playing Emiliano, who uses he, they, and it pronouns. And poor Emiliano was also heartbroken, I realize, by our betrayed. But yeah, and so Emiliano was like absent in the last scene. So we'll see what happens in the next one. But yeah, so there we are. I'm very happy to be playing Our Haunt with everybody here. Our Haunt is a game that uses the belonging outside belonging system, which means it's a token-based system that focuses on found family and this creepy, cozy kind of vibe that we have going. Things can get very sad and intense like last time. And yeah, before we jump into it, I thought we could take a look at the memories section. So this is something that usually occurs at the end of the session, but I find some people, including myself, like to do it at the start of a session too. So basically,
it's your game. Break the rules, right?
I know. Mm-hmm. That's a fun part. You're supposed to spend 15 tokens to unlock a memory, and one time I was like, "What if we just made it 10?" And everybody was like, "Oh, could we do that?"
You can do that.
You can break any rule you want,
right?
In this special 3-shot edition of Our Haunt,
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to
That's
spend the number of tokens equal
Yeah, it's in the
to-
variance rule on page 350. Oh, does your out copy not go that far? Ooh. Oh, that sounds
Go
like
to
a problem.
possumfreak.com and make sure you.
Yeah, well, if you
That
download our
version.
new NFT,
oh! Oh my gosh! I just lost a year of my
Oh,
life
wow.
there.
Oh god. You know, it's funny because
a
I've
bullet
heard,
comes out of nowhere and takes me out.
I've heard people have these discussions about like Blaze in the Dark or other games where they see the creator running the game and they're like, in this game, in session 7, hour 3, John does this thing, and that must mean that is canonically true, always and forever, and is the absolute rule of the game. And you're like, or he was just running the game, and that's how we
And
did it that time.
Yep.
Also, like at session 7 at hour 3, I'm doing anything. Doesn't matter what game it is. I've just been playing for 21 hours over the course of 7 days. I'm making stuff up whenever I want. I can't speak for John, but good God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blake Ryan in chat says that my audio is lower, but I tried to fix it again. I hope it's better
You
now.
fixed it
Please tell
earlier.
me.
Yes.
It sounds
I-
better now. It keeps getting worse.
I don't know what to do about it.
It's like it'll
Yeah.
be good and then it'll be bad again.
It'll
Just-
degrade.
Just shout.
Just-
Well, you know what? Anoki
I think
is
I just need to
disappeared.
sit like
She's-
here.
Can you just
Oh, yeah,
swallow the microphone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Mick Jagger that microphone. And
God.
Okay,
This
okay,
mic, I
perfect,
swear.
perfect. Yeah. no
All right,
worries,
let's
no
go.
worries. Okay, so basically, at the end of every session, or at the start, as we are doing, we declare how many of our tokens we're going to spend towards regaining or creating a new memory. So basically, if we regain a memory, you'll see like the way that they're written. I know it's not super clear on screen for the people who are watching, but I'll read out an example. So it could be a car chase, the sound of an ambulance siren, don't leave me like this, or a hissed whisper, a hand reaching out, break the spell. And so it's meant to be like really fragmented, and it's up to us how we want to interpret this and who gains the memory, right? So we all pitch in our tokens, and in the end, when we've reached the number that we should, which will be a predetermined change number for this version of the game, not necessarily 15 tokens. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna say it's 5 tokens, just for the sake of this game.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
but yeah, so when we reach in this game 5 tokens, then we decide who regains the memory, right? But if we decide to create one instead, it's a more solid new memory, right? So for example, we have things like an old pile of bones came to life and started singing. We sang along. What was the song about? Or an elderly cat asked us to spend time with them before death came. How did we pass the time? So it's a much more specific guidance, right? Compared to the fragmented, probably not happy memories that we're regaining from our lives, right? When we were still alive, basically. So yeah. I'll go ahead and start. I think for me, considering the trajectory that we've been so far, I'm going to spend my tokens towards regaining a memory for one of us. Like, I think things have been a little sad, right? And so I have 3 tokens. I'm going to spend all 3. Oh, look at it clicks and changes color.
It lights up.
So
I'm
good.
Ooh, that's
amazed.
so nice.
I'm so sorry.
I
One
also
time
have-
someone
I
made
have 3 tokens.
uh-huh.
Oh, no,
Oh,
you
nice,
say,
nice,
you
nice.
say.
I was just gonna say that someone made a sim of me once. I think this is Sims 3, and like they chose the trait easily impressed, and I was so upset. I was really
Well-
mad at him, and then we worked together, right? We went to work. And then there was a whiteboard, and there was an eraser, a magnetic eraser the shape of a foot, right? And I was like, James, look at this. And I was gonna say, look, it's the shape of a foot. It sticks to the whiteboard. And he's like, what? And I was like, nothing. Nothing.
I'm not
What's going
impressed by
I'm not
this.
impressed by this at all.
Anyway, there you go. I am in fact easily impressed. But it's so cool though. Look, click. Oh my gosh, I'm amazed.
Somebody clip this portion and send it back back in time to Ray, who was upset then.
Who was
Be like, listen.
Oh my gosh. But there you go. Okay, so and then I also say when I do spend the tokens, I describe a moment of closeness with at least one of the other main characters. I'm going to say, Valentina, what happened after the scene ended, right? Like
Hmm.
you were like as the doll, you were like left in the room or
Twice was holding Valentina and crying.
Yes.
Mm,
And I
ooh.
actually wanted to snag that for my moment of closeness.
Go
with
ahead.
tokens. So
Sure.
if you want me to do my moment of closeness first.
Yeah, go ahead.
but- Okay, I have 3 tokens. I want to put 2 of them into the memory. And I want to describe, I think Twice has realized they've done something really wrong and bad. And I think that they are crying. I think there's kind of a pan shot away. So last time on our haunt, Twice threw a little bit of a temper tantrum and summoned a manifestation of Anoki's deepest fear, which was like the void of creation, and in doing so, kind of did terrible things to like tore Anoki asunder, and also badly damaged Valentina, who is a ragdoll. And so I think that kind of the pan shot we get is of like the raven kind of cawing and mocking Twice as she sits in the middle of the attic, kind of surrounded by these deep shadows, holding Valentina and kind of just trying to like an arm has fallen off and she's just trying to like put it back. Like just trying to like put the arm, like just kind of having this moment of like, I'm so sorry, and like trying to like not sewing anything, not kind of thinking it through, just kind of like pressing. Does that feel right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's my moment. We carry on after that. I just wanted to get that one in there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt that. So, actually, ooh, let me know how you feel about this for Anoki. I think what we see is that Emiliano was in the garden, and then in that moment when Anoki was
Snuffed out.
right, I was like torn apart, thrown into the ether, sacrificed to the cruelty of the narrative, something along those lines.
God.
Stuff that
All
makes
of the
sense.
above. Yeah.
All of the above.
I think there's a moment when Emiliano like turns and sees someone. Like I think it's just the back of what Anoki used to look like when they were alive, like by the door of the house.
Ooh.
And Emiliano it's someone familiar, but they don't know that it's Anoki, and they walk towards that and they say, do you need help? And then the door opens, and by the time Emiliano gets there, suddenly this version of Anoki is gone. Right.
I love that. I think that's great. Do you want to know what that would look like?
Ooh, sure. If you have an idea already.
Yeah. It's this tall, almost statuesque. Is that the right way of saying that word? Woman wearing this draping
Mhm.
sari, and it's sort of like red skirt with like golden filigree lining the borders, with like something that drapes over her shoulder. She has it almost smells like jasmines. She has what is known as a gajra. It's like a garland that you wear in your hair that's wrapped around her bun. And yeah, that's I think all you get to see from the back. But
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so beautiful.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. Does anyone else want to spend tokens? I mean, we're already gonna
Mhm.
regain a memory for sure. So, but yeah.
I'll
I'm
spend
down.
mine.
Mhm.
Go for it.
I'll
Yeah.
spend 2.
Would you like to spend it towards creating or regaining?
Oh, because we're already getting. we're already regaining a memory. I'm gonna spend it towards creating a new memory. I'll spend all 3 on there. There you go.
Nice. All right.
Oh, and then I get to pick a moment of closeness.
And considering that your character has been snuffed out, as you said, we can make this. You can save it for later, or it can be a flashback to something that happened before this moment.
Yeah, why don't I do a flashback? I think I'll have it be, you know how Willow always comes into a room and sits around and pretends like she doesn't need or care for your attention. And she did that in the Lost Room when she originally discovered it, and the original few moments where Willow was in there. Just having that company of a ghost that it was new, and I appreciated that silent company, even though Willow may not necessarily have perceived it that way. It felt very important to Anoki.
I'd like to think that if Willow wasn't 100% sure that Inoki was there, that she may have stretched out and relaxed and been very at ease in a very like comfortable way before she got startled and ran away like a scaredy cat that she is. But like before that scary runaway moment where she broke everything, I think there was she definitely like lounged out in the Lost Room.
Perfect.
A little patch of sun maybe that came through a window, shone through her translucent ghosty self.
Very Tumblr-esque. I love it. That's
Nice.
perfect.
I will add. Oh, Kristen, did you want to add a little moment?
Yes, I will add. I have 2 tokens, so I'll add both of them so that we can create a new memory. Because it costs 5 this game, right?
That is correct. It's a special discount just for the actual play.
Yeah.
Ten
So if
finger
you're
discount.
watching this for notes on how to run our haunt,
Yeah.
this is just a one-time special.
Unless you don't want it to be.
Oh, that's fair.
You can break the rules. I won't tell.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Who cares about the rules?
Oh.
They say this, but Jay will
Designer.
literally come to your house and take your book away from you and throw it outside.
Yeah, people always ask
no.
me what it's like being an editorial director, and the answer is I kill people who break rules.
I see
I
you
think-
breaking the rules. I'm gonna be like, "Hello, Jay."
I hate cheaters. I hate pirates. I hate anyone who steals or breaks anything. Under
You
any
break rules,
right.
Jay breaks you.
That's
That's
it.
Yes,
Oh my God.
exactly. Yeah,
No,
stitches get snitches or whatever the fuck.
I think if it's an Arhant rule you break, you will suddenly have a scary doll that shows up that looks like me.
Oh my goodness, that is a serious
Dumbledore's
threat,
threat.
right? You are not
Yeah.
messing around.
That's
I'm sorry.
almost incentive to break rules.
Right?
But Kristen,
Like-
go on.
Sorry,
Yeah.
this is your character's moment to do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Apologies. Go ahead,
No,
Kristen.
it's fine. Okay, so I can create a moment of closeness. All right. Well, I was gonna have one with Willow, but now I think I have to have one with Twice. Okay. So I think that it's just real short. So I think that as Twice is trying to just put the arm back on Valentina, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I use a move inside of a moment of closeness. I'm gonna say it's okay, right? Okay, thank you. And I
Good thing you
think
didn't break a rule there.
I'm so glad. I had a little flutter in my heart though, let me tell you.
I was reaching for
You
the
turn
sword.
around and there's a doll there.
Right? Valentina can take on the form of a small child, which is creepy AF, but in this moment, it's sweet instead. And I think that she does so that she can hug Twice, since Twice has been so upset.
Oh no!
I know.
Twice absolutely. Twice ugly cries. Twice full like not like like fully like this is the sobs of someone who has probably needed to cry continuously for a couple decades now,
Yeah.
and just has not to the and just she just absolutely collapses into your arms weeping and just keeps being like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then clutches you, yeah.
A little
Aw.
hug.
So sweet. Aw.
I
Thank you, thank
feel
you.
really bad, but I think I'm gonna be really mean to Twice, but trying to be nice to Valentina. So sorry in
Twice
advance,
means
Jay.
Twice means it. Twice means it.
So I think this is some indeterminate amount of time later when Valentina is not in the room with Twice anymore. You know, post this tender moment,
Mm.
and I think Willow just sort of walks up to Valentina almost as though she's not there, like she's clearly working very hard to ignore you, and then walks around a couple times, circles a few times, and then finally just like lays down on top of like one of your legs. So now you're trapped. You can't move. You are now trapped because her head is now like resting on your leg, and she's not looking at you. You're just an inanimate object, but she's definitely pinning you down, and then she purrs a little bit when you invariably pet her, because how could you not?
Yeah, come on.
And says, I think when Willow talks, like she either says, she either like talks out loud, or when she says things like "spider," like when she actually yells. But in this case, it's more that she just sort of purrs in a way that has subtitles, and we know what she's saying. And because this is when she has to articulate more complex thoughts, and she says, "She broke Anoki. Don't let her break you too. You're too precious."
Ooh.
And rubs against you because definitely she has an itch on the side of her face.
Definitely.
She needs to itch.
That's the only reason.
Yes.
That's the
But-
only reason.
And it's said, the subtitles are compassionate. It says compassionate subtitles.
Yes,
Yes.
I love it.
Tone indicators in the subtitles.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, Valentina definitely scratches Willow behind her ear.
Nice. That's acceptable.
That's, yeah.
Willow will allow that.
Right, just briefly.
Oh, yes. And I will spend, let's see, Kristen, how many tokens did you spend on that, creating that memory?
2.
Okay. Let's check that. So I know that these are not strictly necessary, but I will add 2 more to the creative memory in case, who knows, maybe we'll get wild and create another memory.
True. Nice.
So now we have both created and remembered.
Regain.
Cool. Yeah, I kind of, how do we feel usually? Sorry, I'm disassociating a little bit, so my words may be a little scrambly during this game. But do we want to already like claim these memories, or do we want to save it for later? Usually we should
Oh.
already claim them, but I'm just
Okay.
wondering, since we're already breaking the rules, we can break them further if we like.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jay's upset.
Where's the doll?
I think we should do at least one of them. We've got 2. We could
Yeah.
break it up. We could do one now and one later on.
Yeah.
If I may recommend
Yes.
something.
Sure, of course
I,
you may.
I think Twice should create a new memory with the Ghostly
Right.
family.
I think
I
that
just
sounds
feel
like a
like-
good idea.
Yeah.
That seems healthy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
That's-
agree. Do I pick which ones? Do I pick which one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there's a lot of good options. Ooh, it's almost like you're a good writer.
Almost. Yes.
Almost as if.
Who wrote these? Wow.
I still remember what I was doing when I was writing these. I was listening to Carly Rae Jepsen a little too loudly.
Yeah, that is exactly what I would actually do if I had to.
Is Carly in the credits at the end of the book?
Oh my gosh, I should have credited my queen. Actually, when 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 I said my name is Ray, my, my partner was like, "Is this because of Carly Rae Jepsen?" I was like, "No,
No.
No,
Like-
but yes. Maybe.
But also, why not?
But yeah, but my
I
Ray
didn't
is short
say it,
for
you did.
something. But yeah, but I just realized like, oh my gosh, it's spelled exactly the same.
So here's what I'm gonna pitch.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm choosing the option. We spent days making this place more of a home for all of us. How is it more beautiful?
Ooh.
So I think that I come downstairs and I'm holding Valentina in my arms, like I'm like very Dolorosa moment, you know, like holding this kid, carrying her, and I'm like sobbing, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, I've made a terrible mistake, and I like run to Emiliano, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, and I think that we don't immediately go into the lost room. I think because I think it takes a little bit of time to even like piece together what happened. But I think maybe instead, I'm too scared to go back to the attic, and I think that like Valentina needs spectral medical attention. I'm not quite sure what you need, but like I feel like some ectoplasm's got to get put back in the right
Yeah.
doll components. And so I feel like we spend time. I feel like there's like an Emiliano twice bonding moment, and like a Willow twice not bonding moment. And it's like a little bit of like a kind of in the wake of tragedy, we kind of bond together a little bit, and we don't even really figure out that like I don't know, like it takes us a couple days to be like you know, at first it's like, oh, Anoki is dead, and then I think maybe we figure out based on what you saw that Anoki is still alive, and so it's like, okay, well in that case, how can we find them? It's like,
Ooh,
but
I
I think
like
that
that.
we started off at least kind of like we have a few days that are just us like kind of having some bonding moments, and like, you know, I maybe twice grows as a person a little bit.
Aw, I love that. Yeah, I kind of like the feeling of ghosts being haunted, right? So what if every so
Mhm.
often we keep seeing like the back of Anoki like through a doorway or on the
I
other
love how
side of the window?
I really feel like we've made our own Beetlejuice here. Like I feel like somehow this is like there's some version of the Beetlejuice musical that goes like this. Um,
It's true, it's true. I love how you refer to the musical and not the
that's TikTok. TikTok's done terrible things to me. It's just the musicals that the musical really has been getting. It's got some good catchy songs that play.
It does. It does. It actually
They
does.
do.
So
They do.
fair. But yeah, perfect.
I'm a creature of my TikTok audience.
What story is not made better by turning it into a musical?
Oh yeah, of course.
This one
Yeah.
Like
likes
Spider-Man,
cats,
the
but-
musical was really great.
Oh yeah, I had a friend who went to see one of the ones where someone almost died. Where like
Really?
during the stage performance of Spider-Man Turn Out the Dark, like someone like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
whole
Is Jay
thing.
frozen? Oh,
And
Oh,
I had
so
a friend who
we
went to
lost
see
you for a
that one in
second.
particular.
Okay, we
back.
see you. You're moving. You're
You
moving.
missed me
But-
telling you about Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So we're all like, wait, what?
Yeah, my friend saw Spider-Man Violence.
Oh my god.
The tragedy of the Spider-Man.
Oh no. But yeah. Okay. Very cool. So we have our memory, and we can save the other one for later as Sean's suggestion, which is a great idea, I think. So, how about we start off our first scene? So, do we want to go straight to the? I feel like we want to go straight to the lost room, right? To look for Anoki. So, which means Indrani, for the scene, you are basically the guide, and how much of a guide you are depends on you. If you want some of us to like play the NPCs, we can totally do that for you, right? It's like basically how much of a GM do you want to be, right? And this answer can be fluid and change within the moment, but basically for the scene, you're the guide, so you're the final arbiter on things. Yeah, and also, I'm just looking at the reference that we have at the start of the scene. I think Emiliano is going to be here because Emiliano has been like happily haunted by Inoki and wants to figure out what's going on. But yeah, and so how about everybody
I
else?
think Twice would be here, but I think Che is not necessarily able to be here. So I think Twice will be pulling the classic DC maneuver of was in this scene but was in the back and didn't really say anything.
Oh my gosh,
Gotcha.
that is so classic.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, I do think I have to step away. Thank you all so much.
sure. Yeah, thank you
See you
so
later.
much, Jay.
Audience,
We'll
catch you
catch you
later. I'm sorry
later.
for this.
Yeah, no
Bye.
No
problem.
worries.
Thank
No
you,
worries.
Jay.
Catch you later.
Bye.
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 Right, we can say that Twice was. Oh my gosh, I'm imagining in the Thing 2 outfit, just like being sullen in the
Yes.
background.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like
For the
Twice
kid.
has had a lot of emotional upheaval, and it maybe in a point will be a point of growth where she could do this, but isn't there yet, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like that actually, just because a lot of the times, especially in one shots, there's like you spend all this time building up like how much of a backstory this person has, and Twice has just a lot going on emotionally, and just had a really big emotional scene, a couple of them, and so to come back and be like, and she's better. You know, it's not like 100% doesn't fit narratively, so I kind of like that she's still in this like processing phase.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. True.
Awesome.
But yeah. And so we know that Inoki's going to be here in some form, but yeah.
I feel like Willow has to be here because she is the one who knows the way to the Lost Room, and she's also the one who wants she wasn't in the last scene, and she's like Twice broke her. We're gonna go get her back, So yeah, I feel like Willow very much wants to lead the way into the Lost Room.
Amazing.
What about you, Kristen? Valentina?
Yeah, I think Valentina would. Yeah, I think Valentina would be here, especially because even if Twice isn't gonna say much or anything, I think that she would still want to go for like emotional support. So
Yeah,
that's her original reason, at least.
Awesome. To get to the Lost Room, it takes a little bit of searching. It's not immediately there. Willow, if you go back to where you were before,
mm-hmm.
you're like, it should be right here. It was right here the last time I came in. But there's no door, there's no entrance there. It takes a little bit of looking. The Lost Room needs you to have a reason to come in. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask now, is there anything besides, I just want to find Inoki, that you might want to enter the Lost Room for?
I think Willow, though she would never say it as much, feels like everything's very fractured right now, and she wants some ability to sort of make sense of things and to feel a little safer, a little more secure. Right now, she's very afraid that Twice is going to run away, then probably Valentina will run away, Inoki's going to stay lost, and Emiliano and Willow will be left alone, which Emiliano was lovely, and, he would be a great tender to Willow, but she is worried that everything's just going to kind of, a witch is going to come by and everything will disintegrated. So what I think she wants, I think her big motivation is feeling a sense of safety and security with her found family.
All right. What about you, Valentina? What pushes you to come into to find the Lost Room?
Yeah. I think at first it's because Valentina wants to be supportive of Twice, even if she's upset still, like even if she's upset about what happened in the attic. I think she still wants to, there's still a part of her that like needs that connection, right? Because she's had it for so long with Twice. But knowing or noticing that Twice has been like different and kind of changing, I think she also doesn't want to be away from the rest of the group because that's all that she knows. So I think she's feeling like a little needy or a little insecure right now about her place in the family, and she wants to stick together.
Okay. And Emiliano, what about you?
Yeah, I think I mean Valentina, if it's okay with you, I think Emiliano just likes holding things like the dog, the doll, right? So
Yeah.
if Valentina's okay with being carried around
Oh yeah.
by Emiliano. But I think aside from wanting to find Anoki and wanting to stay with Valentina and the rest, I think Emiliano, because one of the memories I have is a hollow laugh that follows me in the dark, and I think I keep hearing that laugh in the direction of the lost room. I don't know what it means,
I love it.
right? So there's a part of me that's like, is it? But it's the same one, right? So, but it's the exact same laugh over and over again. So yeah, like it never changes, right?
Yeah.
Like a recording that it just keeps
Yeah.
playing the same.
Exactly. So Emiliano knows something is up, right? It can't be a real person that's attached to it, but
Mhm.
or a ghost. Ghosts are people too. I'll still stick with person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there. So yeah. But I think yeah. So we see Emiliano like Emiliano's in the usual like I think Emiliano's always wearing robes of some kind, right? And it's like holding Valentina in one arm, holding Willow in the other, and then and then trying to motion for Twice to follow, right?
I love that. After maybe say, it takes you like a good 30-40 minutes to just look around trying to find it. And when everybody feels that sense of insecurity or that need for safety or that need to solve the mystery of the laugh, when you truly feel that need, that's when you see the entrance to the lost room present itself to you.
I feel like that's the moment when Willow leaps out of Emiliano's arms. Like it was fine to be carried until there needs to be an important discovery, and then it'd be like, see, found it. Doesn't matter that we all spotted it. Willow needs to be like, I found it. I found
Right.
it. I found it before. I'm the only one who can find it. I found it. And I need you all to see
that I found it.
Yeah, I think Emiliano very politely turns to the other side and then looks and goes, "Oh, Willow, look what you found! That's amazing."
Tail is circling around in pride.
In fact, I'm going to use your lore and says, "Who's a cute little kitty finder? A cute little door finder," and then scratch under your neck. So I'm using your lore. I'm telling you why you're cute.
Nice.
So.
Yes. Thank you. Although it feels very triumphant in this moment. Scratches are very appreciated.
Amazing. Yeah, you make your way as you into the door. It creaks open, right? It there's this the door hasn't been used a lot. It has a creepy sound to it as it opens, and what you see ahead of you is this long hallway, and across there's not a lot of things on the floor. There's like an occasional scattered item or two, but the walls, they're lined with mirrors, and a lot of them are cracked, and they're all different frames, and they look like they've come from different periods of time, from different places in the world. And occasionally there are portraits and paintings, and it's like packed. You know how you sticker bomb your laptop or like your skateboard? Imagine if somebody sticker bombed a wall with mirrors and paintings. That's
Right,
what
when
you
there's like
see.
barely any space in between each
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I invite you someday to go, if you ever have the chance to go to Hearst Castle, because that is the aesthetic of Hearst Castle. It is just like wall to wall, ceiling to floor, all art, which might individually be pretty, but collectively is gross because it's just so like everywhere.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such an aesthetic. It's like I have lots of money. I have lots of money, and to buy all this good art.
There
Oh
is a
my God.
house here, someone, except they're all paintings of him. Like he commissioned all these people to paint him. Anyway, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's open to the public if you would
Money.
like to see it.
I does strange things to people. I love it. Yeah. So this hallway exists, and you see ahead of you that there are occasional breaks, and you can tell that the hallway diverges into other passages. It's like a
Mm.
maze almost. Um,
Well, I think Willow very much wants to find Inoki and likes this credit that she gets for being the smarty one, but also is like, but like legit is worried that Inoki is gone. So I would like to use um, a a power with great consequence. I'd like to use a ghostly ability with great
Ooh.
consequence. And I would like to become a shadow and stalk your prey. I think that Willow was a black cat anyway, but in this space looks even more translucent than normal. Just sort of becomes a shadow, and as she peers into each of these mirrors, I think she knows instinctively if Inoki is in there. Like even if she can't see her or see them, like I think she knows instinctively that this isn't it and that isn't it. But this whole like feels that she's having with Emiliano being like really cuddly and gratitory keep distracting her from her like natural predator self, and so she keeps lingering to be like, does Emiliano notice me being smart? Does Emiliano notice me being good? And the result of that lingering is that she goes to a mirror, she looks into it, she sees that Anoki's not there, moves on to the next one, but she lingered too long in the shadow, and now there's her reflection still in the mirror, and there's some like memory of her, and so she's going along. She doesn't notice it, but you all see as you're following behind that like old reflections of Willow are trapped in the paintings and the mirrors and whatnot, and so
Ooh,
there's
I
little
love
bits of
it.
her that are left behind.
that is amazing and perfect.
Yes. But at some point, and I'm happy for other people to do other things in the passage because I don't think this is an instant like I found Inoki. I think it takes some time, but that is the way in which I think Willow.
Yeah, yeah. We should have you eventually find your quotation mark prey.
Yes,
For sure.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
like
very
that.
happy for other fun, cool things to be happening along this way. That was definitely not meant to short circuit the finding Inoki process.
Um, I'll tell you what. As you're looking, right, you're probably getting the sense of, oh, not this one, maybe ahead, and maybe that predator sense in you tells you almost which direction you might want to go in. But one of the mirrors that you find yourself trapped in is a little different than the rest. It's a single, very ornate, body length mirror, cracked towards the top. But it's a mirror that catches your thoughts and your memories, and it displays it to anybody walking by.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? Well,
Ooh.
give us
Nice. It's a
whatever
little,
that means to you.
little bit. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for asking me to do this bit of character exhibition. Happy to. So I think we see a woman on her with clearly a deathbed, and she is old and looks like she had led a very good life. Looks like she has come. She has got. She has. She has. This no death is sad, but it's also in this case it doesn't seem like she's in pain or suffering, and she's talking to what maybe is a granddaughter or a great granddaughter possibly, who's sitting there at her side, who's been reading to her, and the book is set down, and the woman pulls a locket away from her neck, and she gives it to the little girl, and she clasps it in a way that seems very difficult because her hands are really shaking, and says something to her that feels like it bestows this incredible weight that this locket has, this responsibility held behind it. And we then notice, of course, that is the same locket that Willow wears, and that's I think I alluded to this earlier, but it's like Willow and the little girl are kind of, depending on the angle you look at it from, like you see one or you see the other, or you see them sort of superimposed on each other.
Very cool.
I love it.
Yeah. So, Indrani, were you asking Willow to deal with the problem with the lost room?
I think I was, yeah. It's an
Yeah.
unsolvable problem with the lost room.
Yeah.
Nice.
So go ahead and take a token, Willow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Getting all these tokens back. Thanks.
Yeah.
True.
I'm here to help everybody power game. That is my
Thank you.
role.
Emiliano and Valentina, you both see this memory displayed on the ornate mirror.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like it's playing out in front of you. It's a little hazy because it's been a while since Willow last thought of this, but it's trapped in the mirror for you to see. Do you pause to look for a long time? Do you pause and watch the whole thing play out?
Yeah.
I'm being carried.
Oh, that is true.
What
That is
else could you do?
That is accurate. This is the doll's problem all the time. I always appreciate how every time someone's playing a doll, people realize, wow, being small is very difficult.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to reach out and create a moment of intimacy. I think I'm going to do this by Willow, are you stopping to watch this memory too, or is it
Oh
just
yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to see where Anoki is, and if they are if they're there, and but I paused too long, and then I think I'm just sort of captivated by the memory. So
Yeah. And I think like what Emiliana does is like sit on the floor with you, with Valentina in Emiliana's arms. And I think I just lean over and say, what a beautiful memory. And you're beautiful from several different angles. Like I'm sort of like insinuating that I understand what's going on between Willow and the little girl that we see, right? But I'm trying not to be direct about it. But I'm just taking this moment to like sit with you.
Nice. I love it.
And hold this space, right? With whatever you want to do with it.
I think in the memory we see the woman. Everybody in this story by the name is Willow, right? Like they're all Willow. The old lady is named Willow. She's passing the name Willow down to her great granddaughter. with this locket, I am also Willow. So it's all Willow. So this may be very confusing, but Willow, elderly Willow, has her hand on young Willow's hand in the reflection, and Cat Willow just like pretends like she's not seeing you, but surreptitiously just sort of puts her paw, because like I think you're sitting on the ground, you get your hand like flat on the ground, and Cat Willow just sort of places a paw onto your hand, as you're sitting there beside her.
Oh no, cat paws. So soft.
Yeah,
And
paw is so
warm.
soft. Yeah. Which, of course, is super tender and sweet until the moment she gets scared, in which case claws come out. But right now, it's a very tender and sweet moment.
Right.
But right now it's very cute.
But how about Valentina? What do you do in this moment?
Yeah, I think I'll use a vulnerable move. Reach out and take care of another, which, I mean, it's kind of already being done, but I like the idea that Valentina puts her little doll hand on top of Willow's little soft paw.
Our little hands are all stacked. We got a little stacking hands. Everybody's
I'm
hands
weak.
are on each other's
I'm weak.
hands.
No, so
I
perfect.
don't know what to do
Too
with all these
cute. It's so
hands.
cute.
Are the paw and the doll hand the same size? Is that like
They are the same size. And I
Yeah.
did it
Oh
for
my
two
God.
reasons. One, I wanted to use a move, but two, in our Blades game, my character and Sean's
thinking that.
character hold hands. That's like as intimate as they get, is holding
Yes,
hands.
that is as intimate as they get. But it's a
Because
very,
life in Duskwall
It's
is hard?
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll take a token for
Nice.
that. Okay.
Tell
Perfect.
you what,
Perfect.
I can still play my character, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Valentina, you feel a little bit of warmth on your dull hand. Just a gentle touch of warmth, and then it's gone. But it clues you in that, you know, she's around somewhere.
Okay.
We're getting close. I love this.
All
I love
right.
this.
Okay. How is Emiliano feeling in this moment? And how does that shift the room around Emiliano?
Oh, I think I think in this moment, how much do I want my character to suffer? I think,
Thanks, Grandma.
yes,
answer.
yes.
We all know the answer.
I think what happens is like while Emiliano is like basking in this moment of closeness, that laugh like echoes throughout the hall and seems to bounce off the mirrors. And there's a really harsh whisper underneath the laughter that says, "You don't deserve any of this." And like Emiliano just starts to feel like this really like this cold sense of despair like gripping onto his heart, knowing that he can't keep or hold on to any of this.
I think in that weird way where like you only have to move the tiniest bit for an animal to notice that something has shifted. As soon as you like shift a little bit, Willow's claws comes out, and she doesn't like rake. It's not like an attack, but like suddenly her claws are in your hand right now, only gently. But it's in that way where it's like I'm gonna either have to extricate her claws, which is certainly possible, or like she can tell I'm trying to move and doesn't want it, and it's like, nope, don't go, stay here. And I think I am also going to show my open desire for affection. I want Emiliano to stay here with me, and I don't mean stay here like not get up. We can certainly get up and keep walking, but like emotionally stay here with me and not be distracted by other things going on. Whatever else is pulling you away. It's like, no, stay with me. Love me more than whatever is distracting you.
I'm gonna throw you a wrench here, Ray. This almost feels like Willow trying to keep you grounded, not let you, like, you know, that feels like it would ground you and bring you back. But do you want to lose a part of yourself and hide it away in the lost room. Do you want to give in to that sense of despair right now?
Oh, oh my God! I'm here to be a disaster gay. So the answer is yes.
You can take a token.
I think there's a moment when I look at Willow and I can sense how much I want to stay here in the moment, but I can feel like the sense of vertigo. Like I can't hold on to being here. It feels like it's almost like I think there's a moment when Emiliano like leans down to place his head close to Willow's like furry face, but there's an after image of another Emiliano that's behind him.
Yeah, I love it.
That like there's a and you can hear the sound of a crack, right? As the two Emilianos like split.
Ooh.
I can see also the vision of like Emiliano cuddling with Willow, and then a reflection where we see Emiliano not, because of all these mirrors in this in this space. It feels like such a human thing, right? To be like, yeah, I'm totally gonna go with you. I'm gonna say that this is fine, and like have this whole emotional part of you that's like, no, I'm not ready. I don't. I'm holding back. I love that.
Yeah. So Indrani, what happened? Oh, yeah. What happens to my other half, right?
The room is going to claim it and keep it for itself. This part of you. And it manifests as an object that you lose to the room, that stays here and it belongs to us now. What does that object look like?
Oh, I think it has to be. I think there's like a glimmer of a necklace that Emiliano is wearing, and then it like slips through the robes, and it's a ring that's attached to the necklace that Emiliano wouldn't let himself wear, but kept around their neck. So, yeah, I kind of see like the way it looks like is one of the hands from the paintings reaches out and the ring slips onto the hand and then it goes back into
Oh my god, that's so good, right?
I love it. And just to add to that, you know how there's two split versions of Emiliano that you see? The one that's still with Willow that no longer has the ring, but the one that's split away still has it until it's taken away.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice. Cool.
I will throw it out there for our power gaming friends in this call. There is a possibility in this room to regain things that have been lost. And do with that information what you will. But it is something you could explore should you want to.
Nice.
But yeah, the pathway is open ahead of you. You're all sitting down in front of the mirror right now. Do you want to spend some more time here or keep going ahead?
I feel like it's the time to like, the beat feels right to move on.
Yeah.
But Kristen, I wonder if in all our distraction, it's Valentina that has the next sort of intuition of the next step to take. I mean, doll or no, I still feel like you might notice a thing or whatnot. What do you think? You feel like
Yeah. Well, I think that towards the end there, I mean, we all had our little hand ghost, even more ghostly hand moment. But then it seems like Willow and Emiliano kind of had a moment. And so I think that during that time, Valentina definitely notices. I think she just notices like a glimmer of light, like when you see the sun shine off like something like silver or something shiny, right? Like on a beach or on a sidewalk. There's just like this ping almost of light a little bit ahead. And I think she just brings it to everyone's attention. I think she reaches up I never know if she has hands or not. She has hands right now. She reaches up and she like tugs gently on Emiliano's hair, and says, "I think we should go that way."
Ooh, yeah, and I think when you do that, also I just want to say one of my lures is if you want to tell me how I'm beautiful. So you could do that.
Oh, is it?
My lure is when someone asks for my love or tells me why I'm beautiful, they earn a token. So I'm just saying you're already
Oh.
tugging on my beautiful hair just in case you
I-
want to.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Valentina reaches up and like does that gentle tug, and then before she says, "I think we should go this way," she says, "Oh, your hair is very soft, like it's been freshly washed." I love
Oh,
it.
thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. And your hair is. And then there's a moment when we cut to the yard. And I just very quickly braid your hair. Absolutely lovely. I say it. And I'm going, oh no, I think that is one of your lures. Your lure is, or I'm going to tell you a white lie.
Okay.
I'm going to get it. But yes, and then I say, but you're right, we should indeed. And I pick you up and I look at Willa, like, do you want to be picked up or do you want to be a cat that
I think so there was this like don't go moment, and there was cuddling, but then when Valentina was like kind of broke that moment, the next thing it looked like Willow's paw's gone, right? It's like I I'm off to other things now. So yes, yeah, ready to
Perfect.
Speaking of lures,
Mhm.
my lure is if someone asks me to see their true face or tells me one of their true names, they earn a token. Sorry. Willow, would you say that when that memory sort of replayed itself, because Inoki is almost everywhere and nowhere in this lost room.
yeah. No, I mean, I
Would
think
I have-
anything shared in the lost room is shared with Inoki, absolutely. So
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Ooh,
Like
yeah,
that.
get a token for your showing your true face. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. Amazing.
I'm here for that, absolutely.
Okay. As you all venture into the next room, the next sort of passage almost, the room shifts. It's like changing. It's like a living creature in and of itself, and it shifts around you all. And the passageway that you step into, there's still mirrors and paintings all around you, but
Mm.
it's disorienting. But the room that you see is now stacked full of like chests and random objects, and it's like a play, like it's almost like a dumping yard, but there's history to almost everything in here, right?
Mhm.
And tell me what you see in here. What and there's objects that when you look at it, it reminds you of your own past. So what are some objects that you find in here? I'm gonna throw it to Valentina.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a really good question. I think that there is an old tea set in here that I think it's really like ornate. Like I think it's one that is probably was meant for more display than actual use. But I think that it's one that Valentina and Twice and the ghost in the basement used to use decades and decades and decades ago. And now it's like covered in dust and part of it's chipped. And but yeah, I think that's what catches her eye first.
Can you? I want to use one of my vulnerable moves and ask, can you tell me about one of your memories, and ask you to elaborate on that. Can you tell me what a reflection looks like in the mirror of a time past where maybe, I don't know, and maybe I don't want. I'm happy. I don't want you to narrate too much about another character if that's not your jam. But either like when maybe Twice wasn't so bitter, hadn't been a
Mhm.
ghost so long. Like when, let me rephrase it. When your friendship with Twice was not so strained,
Yeah.
what did it look like that?
Yeah. I think that we're in part of the house that like everyone would recognize, even if we haven't visited in game. But I think that there's less dust and there's more like sunshine coming in through the curtains. And the three of us are sitting at a table. So Twice, Valentina, and the ghost from the basement. Um, and I think the main thing is that we all like there's a lot of like smiling, there's a lot of like laughter, and I think we just appear to be like lighter, right? Like the sun is shining on our faces, and we were probably like new ghosts, and we just had a whole lifetime of haunting ahead of us. So yeah, I think we definitely just look happier. I think that I don't think Jay would mind me saying this. I think that Twice is definitely smiling at least a little bit, and that's probably enough to kind of catch everyone's attention of like, wow, that's not something we've seen recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Emiliano Watson? I know you already gave one up, but do you find any other little trinkets from your life that seem familiar in here?
Yeah. Oh, once again, how much do I want to make Emiliano suffer? I think what we find is there's like a picture frame where the glass is broken, and then we can see there's like a picture of Emiliano, right? But the face is all scratched out.
Mm.
Like someone obviously like and I think like Emiliana is like, it's one of those things where there's someone else in the photo, right? And they have they're like taller. Emiliano's sitting, this person is like standing behind them. He has his arm around Emiliano's shoulder, but like the way that the glass is broken, you can't quite make out the face of the person that Emiliano is with.
Great.
I want to use Emiliano's lure and tell it that it's beautiful. And I think the way that looks is this picture is on something, and so is Willow. She's just up on top of it because that's how she does. And she sort of paws the part of your face that is like scratched out, and is like makes this like I'm gonna throw up like this like I'm upset. I'm like I've got like a hairball. I'm so upset about this. Like, who would ruin your beautiful face? Like, how dare they? And she like bats at it a couple times, and like bats at it hard enough that it breaks the glass that is covering it, and it shatters across that person. Like, how dare they scratch out Emiliano's face? Like,
I love this so
and
much.
there's a little crack. So,
yeah, go ahead and take a token.
no,
Perfect.
just
Emma.
and she's looking at you like she's proud, even though she broke a thing. It's like, yes, because someone saying scratching out your beautiful face is strong.
Yeah. I think when you do that, I come over, and the first thing I do is inspect your paw to make sure you didn't hurt yourself in the process. But I'm going to use a neutral move, Smile, to hide the pain. And like just look at the photo, like pick it up from, and I think it's one of those things where we know that Emiliana can see the person, but the camera doesn't, right? So we still don't know what they look like.
And it's even further obfuscated now that there's a crack there. But I think, we still know that you could,
Yeah, I think just real quick after, I'm going to use a neutral move too, which is be very, very still. And so I think that after the memory that that Valentina has. Much like last session when the situation with Twice happened and we kind of zoomed in into one of Valentina's eyes and she was just in a happy memory, like real deep within inside herself. I think a similar thing happens, right? Where she's like somewhere else and she just stays very, very still in Amelia Anna's arms.
Great. You see there's a painting on one of the walls that sort of, the canvas was old and yellowed, but as you all stare and have these individual sort of epiphanies and moments, it sort of paints itself to create, like, it recreates the scene that we see onto the painting of itself, and it captures this one memory of the three of you in here. Sorry, the four of you, Twice's here as well.
Yeah.
And it's there, just frozen in time. And because Willow got quite upset in this moment when Willow saw that Emiliano's face has been scratched out, which is fair, completely understandable.
Rude.
The room starts to shift because you're angry now. You're upset. And I'm gonna ask you to deal with the problem of the lost room, which is that objects, walls, and the entire room rearranges itself in response to your emotion. And again, now you're a bit lost. How do you want to navigate this?
I feel like everything. I feel like this is the part of the spooky, the cozy, creepy thing where it goes to creepy, and I think all of the things that were delicately balanced wherever they were are now precariously balanced, and like something drops and it breaks on the ground, and like the doorway that we were in kind of, close, the doorway that we came through closes, and like we get this sort of like horror moment of, oh no, the walls are caving in around us, like we broke something and now it's all collapsing. And Willow, of course, is like very taut, like very alert and very it's like seeing all the stuff like breaking around her, and like does not want to be crushed by things, does not want her friends to be crushed by things, but doesn't want to leave until Anoki is found. And so I think she I think like we see, I'm trying to see what is the best way to I think we see her like kind of, there's a meow, and she like leaps out of the way of something and is starting like to bat through, like I think she goes up to an old curtain that's hanging and like bats it out of the way because she thinks Anoki must be standing behind it, and when she's not there, like leaps up on something, and she keeps trying to find Anoki because it's the Indiana Jones moment where everything is breaking and falling apart, and we need to find her before we run out of here, before we're all trapped. I would like to. I think at a point she finally like gets up on top of a tall armoire and looks around the room, and then just like stares into the nothingness for a long time. And Anoki, I would like to ensnare you with my unblinking gaze. I'd like to sort of force Anoki to like
All right.
reveal himself, and in whatever capacity you want to do that. But just like I'm not leaving this room no matter what is collapsing until we find you.
It's like this self-fulfilling moment where the room reacts to your emotions, to strong shifts in your emotions, but as things are collapsing, there's more panic, there's more things being knocked over, and it's just like it's almost this crescendo of like it just getting worse and worse, and like it genuinely starts to feel like everything in here is falling apart. But in that moment of clarity where you're just like, yeah, my predator instincts, I'm gonna find this creature that I've been looking for. You see this tiny statue at the back of the room. It's the same statue that Emiliano has been describing, that slender figure with the sari, with the filigree on it. Looks very similar to what Emiliano has been talking about. And it's just there in a corner, toppled over. And you just get the sense that maybe I should go closer to that.
Yeah.
And when you do make your way over, you move the statue aside, and you see that there's a trapdoor. It's a statue that hides a secret door to elsewhere, right?
Oh, deeper into the lost room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
and-
have another strong move since I've got all these tokens right now, which is to find a secret passage and describe where it leads. So I think I'm just gonna say
Yes.
that Willow sort of gets to the statue, and that's when Emiliano and Valentina sees her like doing this gesture of like come here, and also just being cognizant that we're getting short on time. I think it leads to Inoki in whatever form you want that to look like. But yeah, I think that there's like a climb down a ladder or something like that. You know?
Ooh, I love a climb down a ladder.
Yeah,
Like we're going deeper. Yeah. Cool.
exactly.
Yeah. You climb down the ladder, and
Let's rephrase this.
come into-
Emiliano climbs down a ladder. We're just holding
Yeah.
on. We're just
Oh, yeah,
holding
yeah,
on.
sorry.
If that's
Just
okay.
holding on for dear life.
Emiliano is like the cat on one shoulder, a doll in one
Doll.
arm. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah. You make your way down, and the rooms above have, even though chaotic, they're dusted. They're cared for. There's no cobwebs around. It's her home. She cares for it. This is the room that there's cobwebs hanging on the wall. It's neglected. This is the place that, even in the lost room, it's like lost within the lost room almost.
The lostest.
And yeah, it's the lostest of the lost rooms. And here you see a table set for 4, and it's there's like teacups arranged on the table. There is a like, you see decorations on the walls, and you take a moment and you realize it's a recreation of
The garden
party
tea
that-
party.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Aw.
I love
And you
that.
see a ray of sunshine seemingly coming out of nowhere, just hitting one of the chairs. And you see this teacup just levitating up and then back down and then up and back down. And yeah, that's what you see ahead of you. However, I'm gonna choose this thing that I can do once per session. And I'm gonna say that the boundaries between the living and the spirit world are very thin here. Even though there's this recreation of something good and hopeful, there's a lot of despair and weight in this room. Emiliano, because this is most representative of the garden in this moment, what comes through? If you choose to answer, I'll give you a token.
I think I'm going to say, I think even though there are 4 seats, right? And one of them, like, Inoki is in, I think the other 3 are 3 other versions of Inoki. Like, from the shattered glass versions of Inoki that, like, come and, like, they don't know if they should, like, sit at the table, right? And they all look like there are like different aspects of each other, right? There's like the Inoki that I saw the back of, and then there was the Inoki that wears the evidence of how they died, and there's another Inoki that's like much younger, right? And I think so. I'm going to get a token for answering that question. And I'm going to power game a bit because I'm going to immediately use 2 tokens. So that's going to bring me down to, going to bring me down to 3. I'm going to use my ghostly ability with loving care. I'm going to heal the brokenhearted and soul shattered. And I'm going to step forward and very confidently sit at one of the seats, and I say, Inoki, I'm so glad to meet all of you here in this space. And I reach out to like hold a hand that I shouldn't be able to see because it's invisible. And then like all of the other Inokis like blink out of existence in that moment.
I love it. Yeah, you hold her hand and you feel the warmth that emanates off of his body, and Inoki just whispers, "You found it." I don't know if my whisper is actually going through, but I'll stage whisper, and she'll say, "You found me. I thought this. How did you find this place? This."
Well, we have a very, very talented cat with us.
I think when you look at Willow, she is sitting in one of the seats now that one of the others was in, and right as you sort of look, I'm going to use my neutral move to avoid speaking by licking myself clean. So like as you look over, like we have a really talented cat. It's just like leg up and like licking armpit. You know,
Show us, Sean.
No.
What is the cat?
Well, it's probably Anywho, yes, I'm just like, what now? Who? What? No, sorry, just
And
looking myself.
and I say, and we also had a very, very caring friend. I say, looking at Valentina, and then I motion towards Twice and say, and we have someone who has an apology for you. And I think maybe that's where the scene fades, or we see Twice step forward about to say something. We don't know
Yeah,
if she'll apologize or not, but
I like that a lot.
I love
I
that.
love it.
Yeah, I think Willow jumps up onto the table and just sits on like the corner of the table, so there is still a seat for Twice. Should we're not
Oh,
sure.
I
We're not
should-
sure if Twice would have apologized or not. But
Yeah.
what if she?
Oh, I should have clarified. 4 seats empty.
Oh,
And
I
I had
get it.
taken one, so
Got
there was
it,
one
got
for
it.
everybody.
Perfect. Excellent.
perfect.
And one with like enough height raiser so that if Valentina sat down on it, she
With
could
the-
still
It's a high chair.
What do you
Go
call
high
it?
Yeah.
chair.
A booster,
Yeah.
a booster seat, right?
Yeah, booster seat. My bad. I should have clarified that before. But
No,
space
it's
for everybody.
fine.
I love that.
All right. So do we want to, looking at the time, do we want to wrap up things with the other memory?
Oh,
Yeah, I
sure.
think
That's
so.
a good idea.
If we're cool with that.
So we're
Yeah.
regaining a memory, right?
That is
Ooh.
true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Ray. I feel like Emiliano very much has a memory that they've been sort of suppressing, and maybe that it's ready for that to come to light in the Lost Room. And also, I feel like Inoki has sort of been discovered here, and it might make a lot of sense to see one of Inoki's memories. I feel
True.
like
Ooh,
My personal
we do have
sensibilities-
tokens to spend. Like I can
What's-
spend 3 tokens.
Oh,
That's
I have
true.
2.
Yeah. So we can. I will spend all.
You can
3.
each regain a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you each regain a memory?
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, and I think the moment of closeness is, I think like we just see Emiliano taking the time to really spend time with Inoki and the rest of the. I kind of like the idea that we're in the garden in the Lost Room, and it starts to fade bit by bit until we're actually in the garden.
I love that.
That garden
Yeah.
party, and then we cut to the Greyhound with the party hat.
We got
Because
a
even
party.
though it's been several days, we can always have another birthday. Because what is time in the
Exactly.
house, right? Have I managed to put a party hat on Willow for like 2.5 seconds?
Oh.
I think there's this like it's like over her face, and she's got this scrunched up face. Like, why are you doing this to me? But she does not. She does not. Just sort of like,
You can tell Sean is
Oh
such a
my.
parent, is such a pet parent, like
Yeah. Yeah.
parent and pet
yes,
parent.
yes, yeah. Willow very begrudgingly accepts it, whereas the Greyhound is like, I got a party hat. I got a party hat. Sorry, jumping
I must.
onto all the animals right now.
I love it.
But yeah, how about for Valentina? What's your moment of closeness for the tokens you spent? Sorry, was it Valentina who spent tokens?
I
Sorry.
think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I
Valentina,
was thinking.
No problem. I was just worried my brain fits and I missed that moment.
No. You were right. I think it's just. I think it's just. It's just Valentina, kind of singing softly, right at the end of the scene in the Lost Room, and she's singing one of Emiliano's favorite songs that brings him comfort.
Oh, it has to be Unchained Melody.
That's what it is.
Very good.
There it is.
My darling.
I love it so much.
That's
So
what it is.
good.
That's what she's singing.
So good, so good. Perfect. Yeah, so that means we can get a memory each, actually. Then.
Why don't you
Yeah.
go first, Emiliano?
Sure. Ooh. Once again, how much do I want? Emiliano to suffer.
There's so many good ones. I mean, who wrote this?
Yeah, we should reach out. Be like,
To compliment the creator. It's good stuff.
You can thank Carly Rae Jepsen for inspiring me. Though I think with this particular set with the old memories, because the new memories was Carly Rae Jepsen and the old memories, I think I was listening to a lot of Auto Heart. Like, Auto Heart's also very good. Let's see. I think. Oh, okay. I have to choose this one. A stolen dance, a fire that consumes everything. Don't make me lie to you. And so I think we see Emiliano in the arms of that tall man, right? They're dancing. And I think like you can tell there's a party that's going on in the other room, right? And so the two of them have obviously stolen this moment. And Emiliano says, no, I'm sure they're going to be looking for us. We can't stay here for too long. And we just hear the other man say, what is a stolen moment between the two of us? And I think there's a moment when the older man asks, Emiliano, do you love me? And Emiliano just looks up with the kindest expression and he says, don't make me lie to you.
oh,
Ooh.
And then it cuts to like, we see like the same house is on fire and on the outside, Emiliano's just watching. And we're not sure what conspired in between those two moments.
Ooh.
find out in the next season.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What about Inoki?
Beautiful.
What have you got for us, Johnny? What do you remember?
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna pick A Long Walk in the Dark, the sound of a gun reloading, and the words, I'll always love you. And this memory is of Inoki, again, dressed very extravagantly, sort of panicking, running to find someone, very similar to how it must have felt today. And you see them whispering, "Please don't. We can fix this. Please don't do this." And just you hear footsteps behind her and the sound of the gun reloading and just the sort of gruff but guilty voice say, "I'll always love you." And that's where the memory ends.
Oh my gosh, like it's connected.
What a
Yeah, I love
macabre
it.
way to end this very sweet moment. Very good. Very good.
I know. I feel like after that, it has to fade back to the garden,
Yeah.
right? Just this
Yeah.
like very
No,
just
I totally want that to be like it's clear that was near like the camera pans over from that scene, like that must have been physically nearby even though it was a long time ago, like
Right.
wherever that was, like we pan through back to the garden.
As
seeing
you're
us now
panning
today.
back, because just gonna add, through the lost room and back out, you see a lone gun on one of
I
the
was
tables.
thinking that
Yeah.
the gun has to be there.
It is so funny because
Yeah.
I was, if you you know how you're asking everybody like what detail they thought they saw in the room, and it was so funny because I was going to talk about a hunting rifle and it like didn't come up, but like
Oh,
I have no idea. Yeah,
Wow.
I had this thought unrelated, but it's so
that is
lovely.
so cool.
That's good.
Perfect.
I love
Oh my
That's so good.
gosh.
Well, I think that's our hunt. Do we need to do anything at the end of session? I normally do memories, but we just did memories. So is there
Yeah,
any
we
other-
did.
Just
We did.
memories.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Thank you so much
Lovely.
for playing, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was
Thank
such
you,
a good
Ray.
time.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah.
great game.
Mhm.
I was so
Delightful.
nervous about GMing the Lost Room. I hope I
No,
did
it was so
okay.
Oh, you did
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely perfect.
I'm glad.
I very much love games that give GMs moves and that also sort of encourage a light GM touch where it's like,
Yeah.
maybe you want to suggest some things that can happen, but you're not the one in charge of making sure the story happens. Like you are welcome to
Mhm.
add things that you think are happening and give this scene the aesthetic that you want it to have, but you don't need to carry everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Right.
a lovely balance. So
I agree. Great game design, whoever made
yeah,
this.
excellent.
This
Yeah.
joke is like, I'm like beating a dead horse.
Yeah, no,
No, it's
you can make this
perfect.
joke all day long. Yeah, whoever made this game, he's very smart, he's very talented.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yes,
Agreed.
yes. The Himbo game design, our favorite Himbo game design.
I hope I run
Thank
into
you,
them
thank
at Big
you.
Bad Con.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
have to tell them how much I love
maybe.
their game.
yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Well, everybody, we're going to say goodnight because we're over time. I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. I was playing Willow, and I had a delightful time. In the real world, I am probably going to be up all night getting the Big Bad Con crowdfunding page ready to launch tomorrow. Should be good times if we could just get everything on the site working before then. No problems there, I'm sure. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner. And tomorrow, you can find me on the Big Bad Con website, on the Big Bad Con crowdfunding page. Thank you, Andrade, for putting the link in there. And there is tons of amazing perks available for those who are attending, like badges and coffee from Hyacinth, coffee from Seawolf Bakery, and also great things for people who are going to be afar, like virtual online games. Like, for instance, you could play a game of Apocalypse Keys with Ray as one of the pledge levels. So great things all around. And yeah, you should check it out. How are you, Andrade? What's up in your world?
Hello. My name is Indrani. I played Anoki today. My pronouns are she, they. You can find me in the real world and on the interwebs as at Nonacon Dice. I'm a handmade dice maker and streamer and marketing person, and I honestly don't know why I do all the things I do, but yeah. I have a shop update coming up soon, so if you're looking to get some handmade dice, follow me on social media. I've made some pretty sets that if
Very
you're
pretty
in the
sets.
market for, come grab some. Thank you, Sean. And yeah, please check out the Big Bad Con Indiegogo fundraiser when it goes live. Sean and the whole team have put a lot of effort into it, and I'm very excited, particularly for the POC programming that's going to happen. So if you can show your support for some incredible things that they're doing, please do. But yeah, that's me. What about you, Kristen?
I really liked this ending. That was lovely, Andrani.
This is my I don't know what to do with my body or my hands, so I'm just gonna
See, but it comes across as this little confident last gesture, and I loved
yeah.
it. So just
I think it's better than
yeah.
you know.
I love it so much. Yes,
Thank
I am Kristen. She, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Kristen is no Jedi or at Dice Up Games. My big thing right now, I'm in the last like 48 hours of a little Kickstarter. It's for a PDF only game called Color My Quest, and it is a cut and color RPG for people of all ages, because when I'm not playing fun, creepy doll ghosts, I make games for kids sometimes. So that's my thing. But yes, just want to take another couple of seconds to say to please back the Big Bad fundraiser when it goes live, or crowdfunding when it goes live. I say this every time we talk about Big Bad, but I'm gonna say it again in case there's someone new listening or watching. Which is I went to Big Bad in 2019 and I made connections and have made actual friendships from it. The support from POCs for POCs is outstanding and unmatched, and everyone, including Sean, worked really, really, really hard. So thank you, Sean. And that's it for me. How about you, Ray?
Hi, my name is Ray. My pronouns are he, they. Yeah, and I want to say that when it comes to Big Bad Con, it is people can talk about supporting POC a lot, but Big Bad Con is one of those places where I really feel the support, right? And Sean and the team are always really here to support the marginalized in the TTRPG space in a way that is sorely lacking in other spaces. So I feel super strongly about supporting Big Bad Con and what the team is doing. So yeah. And yeah, I also made this game, Our Haunt. It was originally a game jam game, and oh my gosh, it's a real game you can actually buy at Possum Creek Games, which is so wild to me. People are wearing the Our Haunt t-shirts. I'm like losing my mind like over it. The t-shirts are very cool. They glow in the dark, by the way.
What?
So
Oh
they
my goodness.
do. They do.
That
The
is so
pins
cool.
and the t-shirts glow in the dark. So I just asked Jamie if it was something. I didn't know it was a thing that could actually happen, right? But I was like, ghosts glow in the dark, don't they? Like, could we have t-shirts that glow in
Amazing.
the dark?
Love it.
But yeah, so if you want to pick up a book, you can do so at Possum Creek Games. I'm not sure if you can pick up the merchandise. Yes, I should double check. But backers definitely have access. The merch will be available at some point, I think. So, but yeah, and I'm also working at other games like Apocalypse Keys with Evil Hat, and Once More Into the Void is also going through its final legs. Lots of exciting stuff. Lots of stuff I'm working on. So the best way to keep up is to follow me on Twitter at TemporalHiccup, or to support me on patreon.com/SorkMeanGames. And yes, I will be. I'd love it if you all would like sign up and help out with Big Bad Con. I'm excited to run Apocalypse Keys for everybody. It's a very cool mystery that I have in store for you. So yeah, that's it. But thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out and watching us be creepy, cozy, sad, really sad.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
So sad.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.